me, it's Beth Norman-Roberts, and today we're doing the Retiform Technique. It's an oldie but a goodie. You can do so much. We're kicking it up a notch today with several different blending colors instead of just using one. So stay tuned for a couple of tricks and tips, and let's get started. We are going to need a 3 3/4 by 5-inch white, 4-inch by 5 1/4 of cherry cobbler, and a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 white scored at 1 1/4, and that will give us our card. Using my small white background and a scrap piece of cardstock, I'm going to put lines with my brushes. Now, for purposes of the video, I did mark it Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock so that I don't get these interchangeable. So starting with my Lost Lagoon, I'm going to just go from the corner up. It really does not matter where you put these colors. They are just fun to see what you can fit in each spot. To give it a little oomph, I am going to add some Pretty Peacock as well. That's why I'm calling this technique kicking it up a notch, because it just gives it a little bit more flair and a little bit more depth by combining these two colors. Retiform cards are very fun. I'm going to make several of them once I'm done this video. I just really like it, and I have some upcoming birthdays in my department that I'd like to give out. And we keep moving this cardstock along. As long as you line it up against this line, we're good to go. So there I have my lines. We're going to now fill in so it's not so stark white in these spots. We're going to blend in either Lost Lagoon or Pretty Peacock. Choice is up to you. I see I have a little overhanging color here, and I'm going to disguise that by just using the Pretty Peacock and going over that. Once I have that finished, I'm going to use some Pretty Peacock just to darken a few little areas, just to add more depth. Now we have all the edges blended. I did forget this one here. Let's make that a little darker here. So all corners of your Retiforms will be covered going up and going down, sideways to sideways. That gives a lot of dimension, especially leaving this white as accents. You'll see once this is finished just how beautiful this technique is. So now, other than Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock, I'm going to bring in Cherry Cobbler. We are using 2 stamp sets today. My Forever Fern that's retiring. I love it so much. It is one of the stamp sets that just by stamping you get shading and highlighting, which I really like on this particular card because it does have the shadows and the highlighting. And then we added in Perch Tree. I want to use that bird. So just as a reminder, I have Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, and Cherry Cobbler. Now, you do not have to use your stamparatus. You can use your blocks and stamp. I, myself, like a crisp, clean image, and I like it stamped several times. So that's why I'm using my stamparatus. Conveniently, because this stamp is so tiny, I don't need to sticky note my lines. I can just add my little hello there. We will stamp up the image. And just like so, it goes right on to the little spot that we have for it. And there's our hello. Now the rest of the sections will need to be sectioned off using sticky notes, as you'll see what I'm doing here. I would like to add my bird next. So I'm going to take a sticky note and place it along my line because I'm not quite sure what's going to overlap. The bird might fit in here quite nicely. There's another long one. I want to keep the face on for the bird, so I'm going to let the wings be cut off. When it comes time for the branches, it doesn't matter what's cut off. It looks nice to have the tips cut off, side branches. It all looks beautiful no matter what you do. I'm bringing in some pretty peacock. And there we have it. Isn't it beautiful? What I try to do is just put the very end of the tip overhanging on these branches so you don't see a whole branch. This way the eye will look at it and say, oh gee, this must be a really long branch. Just a little tip. Now we'll put the card together. And there we have it. I just love this card. I would love to know in the comments if you have made this, if it's a new technique to you that you've never tried. I just love my techniques. I hope you enjoyed this video and give this technique a try. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.